Miles, man, you had the opportunity to see your alma mater, East St. Louis High School, play against the Memphis East Mustangs. Emotionally, what are you feeling? And this is your event, so emotionally, what are you feeling?
I'm feeling two sides. One side was, man, I'm just so excited and happy for me to throw a tournament and have my high school that I went to and graduated from to play in it. You know, kids that's in the same position as me when I was coming up, just to get the opportunity. A lot of them kids, I went to school with their moms and dads, you know. Just a blessing just to have them here. The other side, you know, they didn't have a too good a game, and East came and represented Memphis very well. They look like a championship team, and look forward to see what they're doing by the end of the year.
For sure. Now, when this event was brought to your attention, were you honored? You know, what were those conversations like?
Yeah, I was definitely honored when Bobby asked me to. Bobby Bates, he do the Allen Iverson Classic and other things. When he asked me to do it, man, it was definitely a blessing and an honor. You know, this is the type of stuff that I love to do. It's given me so much of an adrenaline rush just to be in an event like this, especially somebody throwing it for me and putting my name on it. I definitely was excited for it.
Right. Day one, right? When I first met Bobby, Jay Mansell, Stack, all those guys, one of the biggest things that I realized and the characteristics that they held as men was the ability to be real, right? Genuine, honor, love, all of that. And I'm getting that same energy from you within this interview. Talk to me about what is the cornerstone of keeping such relationships like these, especially considering that some of you guys are even business partners.
It's just staying solid with yourself, man. You kind of, real people kind of tend to link up like that. Once you be around a person, you kind of feel that way. And just with all of us, basketball is a brotherhood. You know, it's a brotherhood on the NBA level, but it's a brotherhood overall. You know, guys, when you play basketball from high school, college on up, you have friendship with guys for the rest of your life. These guys become your brothers. You tell stories about this your whole life, about times and tournaments and what happened with this and that. And you can't buy that. That don't have a price on it, you know. And just to be in this community, this basketball community, be a part of it and all that, and just getting guys like Bobby and Stack and AI and Sheet and all these good guys, man, that's just a blessing to be a part of this, something like this. And you know, that's what I want for these kids.
For sure. Man, and that answer that you just gave was extremely genuine. And you could tell somebody instilled that type character in you. So this question, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw a name out there, you know, and I want you to talk to me about how this person influenced you to be the man that you are today.
Yeah.
Miss Ethel Miles.
Ethel Miles, yeah, that's my mom. The only child, and I wouldn't be here to this day if it weren't for her. She installed the strong will, the toughness. She did everything that a man posed to help me out in doing, growing up in a hood like East St. Louis. So she like my number one angel, you know.
Sure. Man, and did she teach you to pay attention to the smallest things? You may know where I'm going with this, but did she teach you to pay attention to the smallest things?
Yeah, pay attention to details. You know, sometimes you miss that, you know, with life, how life goes. But, you know, sometimes you bump your head, but pay attention to details. I was always a strategist. You know, I'm a strategy person. I'm not a person that's going to retaliate or do anything crazy like that. I kind of strategize for my stuff. So I've always been a strategy person, and it just worked well for basketball.
Could you name a moment to where you did strategize?
Huh?
Could you name a moment to where you did strategize, just in life in general?
In life, strategizing is just, man, protecting my energy. You know, everybody don't. It's not like the people is trying to just do bad or put bad stuff around you, but it's just sometimes people be so negative that it put bad energy in your life. So my thing now is protecting my energy, protecting my peace. You know what I'm saying? Protecting your energy and protecting your peace, that's what creates happiness, creates opportunity, it creates joy in your life. So I just learned that as I got older, and that's what I try to keep doing.
And considering the climate, right, of the NBA today, you talk about the smallest things. You got LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, these guys are walking into the game with diamond pendants on, and this is their second season in the league. And so, especially with the amount of money that they're making, you know, how important is it for them to pay attention to the smallest things?
Well, it's very important. You know, they got long careers and a lot of life to live. We live and we learn. Everybody's situation ain't always the same. You never know what anybody is going through outside or inside the privacy of their own home. Details for everybody. It's a smart thing to do. Details in the game, details in life. You know, if you're not in there putting the work on the gym and the weight room, how can you get better? You know, in details in the sense of that. So, yeah, they got a lot of things. Like, guys been wearing pendants. You know, when I came in, the first thing we bought was big ass chains with our names on it, like an ID or something like that. But you know, if I look back on it now, would I do it now? Ain't no way in hell. Okay. I would buy a chain to say my name when everybody already know it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we live and we learn. We was young boys, and I don't never judge the young boys. I'm just excited what they bring to the table. It's a new day and age and era, and they had a time.
Man, something that I applaud you on is your hiccups in the league, right? Considering, in your opinion interview that you did, which was a phenomenal interview too, the My Two Cents podcast, you said that your third year into the NBA, something that you realized was that LeBron James was more mature than you. Yeah. Right? Just the little things, but it was because he had more OGs and stuff like that. People of the game that knew the game beyond the game of basketball in regards to money and all of that. So something that makes me really curious is, I want to know, after you retired, after you left the game of basketball, right, mentally, where were you?
I wasn't in the best place mentally after I retired, because I retired because of an injuries. Like, my knees weren't working the way they used to be, and I was losing the people who I grew up in the house with. You know, my mom, my granddaddy passed away, then my grandma passed away, then my mom passed away. So that was like, these are the people that I grew up in the house with. So that mentally had me kind of off my rocker. I was doing a lot of stuff that I wouldn't normally do if everything was fine. And it was at a time where, you know, I never had adversity.
What does that mean? You said you never had adversity?
Like, everything always worked for me. Like, I went straight out of high school, been a millionaire since I was 18. I'm playing on NBA teams for 10 years. It's hard to have really adversity. But then I got the injury, and then, you know, something when you go so long or not everything kind of going right for you, and not always right, but well for you, to problem after problem after problem. I remember it was at the point one time where I was tired of answering my phone. My phone was giving me anxiety, because every time my phone rang, it was like, what's next?
Another problem.
What's the next thing? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I had to get out of that. But, you know, I grew with therapy, communication. You know, my therapist, I got a life coach. Just communicating with her makes me communicate with more people around me, like my friends and family. Like, you be around your homeboys, or coming up, you in the house with your mom, your dad, your sister and brother, and y'all never have a real conversation. And y'all been around each other 20 years eating at a table. And it's not just for me, that's in like a lot of households, you know what I'm saying? But now, me being older, mature, bumped my head 1,000 times, I communicate better than I ever did, you know?
So was that, as a man, was that extremely important? Because, you know, especially us as men, right? Our community, especially black, a lot of us are extremely prideful, especially in relationships, friendships, all of that. We would be so scared to open up, you know? Yeah,
that was the same case with me. It was like, you know, I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I'm gonna die with my shield, you know what I'm saying? And one of the hardest things I had to learn too, like, just as your partners, your homeboys, or so forth, the hardest thing to do is to talk to a man. When the best advice you can get on being a man is talking from a man. But a lot of guys that grew up with nothing but their mamas, they're gonna talk to their mamas and try to think their mama can give them the advice of being a man. Their mama can only go to a certain level, because they never been a man before. But as men, it's hard for us to talk to each other and be vulnerable without me feeling like, man, he might think I'm weak because I said this or said that. But you know, like I said, I'm older and mature now. I realize a lot of stuff don't matter. I'm vulnerable to my kids. I got 3 sons that's big as monsters. You know what I'm saying? And I'm vulnerable to them because I want them to be vulnerable to me because I'm here for them. So, you know, just little stuff like that I done learned. I'm 40 now. You know, I've been through the ups, downs, round and round. Then got it, lost it, and got it back. You know what I'm saying? So shit happens. For
sure, man. As we begin to wind this interview down, this last question, I actually think this is going to be numbers. Like, it's going to be phenomenal. The climbing of the NBA, talked about LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, all that type of stuff, you know. But with this question, if you had the opportunity to pick a young phenom out of the league and to give that young phenom a piece of advice, who would that young phenom be and what would that piece of advice be?
That is a good question. I like so many of the young guys. It'd probably be 2. Man, I would tell Ja Morant, man, just keep on doing him. I love the way Ja Morant played, man. I just tell Ja, man, keep on doing him and staying him and staying with the energy and the positivity and the hard work that he's doing because it's rubbing off on his team. All of them look like the same player because all of them playing hard as hell. And the other one is Anthony Edwards, man. I just love that guy. I want him to kind of be cautious of that microphone because sometimes that microphone can get you in trouble by saying too much of the wrong thing. But man, keep on doing what he's doing because he looked phenomenal to me.
For sure. Well, D-Miles, man, we appreciate you coming to the city of Memphis, showing love. You say you're here often.
Yeah.
So you got to tap in a lot of times when you come, man, because we definitely are welcome to have you.
Straight up.
You know, strong time in the city of Memphis. We need a lot of love and a lot of affection from men such as yourself.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Love, man. Anytime.
Hollywood Media, signing up.